Hello, and thank you for watching this April 13th weather update, brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I'm a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. As we have discussed in past video updates, the 2015 severe weather season has started off slow, and most agree that this year will be near average or slightly below average in terms of severe thunderstorm activity in the United States. After last week's multi-day severe weather event, we need to stress that even a quiet severe weather season still produces nearly 1,000 tornadoes and nearly 20,000 wind and hail reports. Here we can see how well the Storm Prediction Center performed last week in forecasting the timing and location of these storms. In total, there were 652 reports of severe weather, but as you can see in the bottom figure, the 2015 tornado season has started off quite slow compared to average. Thankfully, a lot of the hail that fell in the Corn Belt was small enough to prevent much damage, and it fell a couple of weeks before planting begins, thus not damaging the early crop. The big story, though, was the outbreak of large and violent tornadoes in northern Illinois. Here's a photo of the Fairdale, Illinois wedge tornado. This tornado was ranked as an EF4 with winds as high as 200 miles an hour and leveled parts of Fairdale in north central Illinois. So let's turn our attention to this week and focus on the precipitation leading into planting. Here's the current U.S. drought monitor. Out west, the historic drought continues despite the rain and snow received last week. While there was some improvement, the snowpack is still less than 20% of average across much of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Also, as we've been talking about for several weeks, the northern parts of the Corn Belt are starting off the season dry. Even with the precipitation this region received with last week's volatile weather, and the rain it received on Sunday, the longer-term deficits in rain were not relieved. With only 2 small chances for rain this week, Wisconsin, Minnesota, northern Iowa, and the Dakotas will have another relatively dry spring week. As a result, there is a risk for fire across this region on Monday and Tuesday of this week, and we'll need to keep a close eye on this region as planting begins, as early season water stress will certainly play a role in crop yields. On Sunday evening, a cold front stretched southward from Canada and was pushing through the central U.S. and joining with an area of low pressure in the central United States, bringing much-needed precipitation to the northern and central Corn Belt, including the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, which are in exceptional drought. The 2 big stories for this week will be the abundance of rain in the south and the potential for more snow in the central Rocky Mountains. Since the snow will be crucial for growers out west, we will look at the timing and amount of this precipitation event first. According to the latest forecast model runs, snow will begin along the Cascade Mountains on Tuesday and push east through the end of the week. At this point in the season, any and all snow is welcome, as snow levels are below average at nearly every reporting station in the western mountains. With this system, some locations could see more than 2 feet of snow, though. Down south, some locations could see more than 4 to 5+ inches of rain in the coming days, as repeated showers and thunderstorms hammer the southern states. Remember that this region has already seen a wet winter and early spring, and these frequent rain events have delayed planting. Notice too that while the south remains very wet, the northern Corn Belt misses out on this rain, as does most of California and Nevada. The good news is that as of Monday morning, there are no large-scale organized severe weather events forecast for the remainder of this week. So let's look a little bit further down road, using the forecast models that are part of the National Multi-Model Ensemble as guidance. May through July looks to remain warm out west and in the northern Corn Belt. However, the southern Great Plains may see near average or slightly cooler than average temperatures during the same time period. The wetter-than-normal precipitation anomaly stretching from the southeastern United States through the Great Plains and Intermountain West has been a consistent feature for the last 6 weeks in these models, giving me confidence in this forecast. So as of early April, it looks as though a large part of the growing region in the United States may be spared significant weather events that will impact crop production. Remember, though, that the northern parts of the Corn Belt are a bit dry going into planting season, and the southern parts of the Corn Belt have been exceptionally wet. But Illinois, Iowa, and Indiana look to have a good start to this year's growing season. To finish this forecast, let's look at 2 other growing regions across the world. First, across Europe, the last 6 months has been drier than normal in an area stretching from northern Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, through Germany and France. The last 3 months have helped relieve these drier conditions, and the next 7 days, shown here, will bring rain to the driest parts of Belarus and Poland, while France and Germany are forecast to have a drier week. Looking farther east, The last month has been dry in the northeastern parts of China where corn is grown. This same region has been quite dry through winter too, suggesting some water stress as planting begins. The forecast for the next 7 days brings rains to the southern parts of the Chinese corn belt, while the northern part stays quite dry. We will be watching these regions closely this season as global corn supply is very high. Well, as always, we at Agrible will bring you the latest and best weather forecast information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather update. Thank you.